Hello everyone, how are you doing today? So today, this is the third week of my video blog series, and today we're going to be talking about styling your wedding day. So for those of you that may not know me, maybe you're new to following me on Facebook or Instagram, I'm Carolyn and I am the founder of Carolyn Louise Weddings, a wedding planning and styling service. So like I said, we're going to be talking about styling your wedding day. Now, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see couples make, is not pinning down a specific style at the start of their wedding planning journey. Now, I completely get it. It can be so overwhelming. We have all these images on Pinterest, on Instagram, and it's just like, where do I even start? Like, I completely understand. So this video is going to kind of give you a brief overview of all that. I can't go into too much detail because obviously I'll be here all day, but I will be sharing some links in the comments and on my bio on Instagram, just so you can, to help you if you want to go that little bit further. So I guess I need to start by kind of explaining why it's important to pin down a specific style at the start of your wedding planning journey. So the reason for this is that it helps, it just makes your wedding planning easier. So we'll start with that one. It makes it easier because you know exactly what kind of suppliers you want to be sourcing. It helps you make decisions because you know if their product or service or the design for your stationery matches the style that you want for your wedding, and you just know what you want. So it just helps the process and it makes it easier. And if you do decide then to hire a wedding planner towards the end of your wedding planning journey, you can give them your Pinterest board or whatever you've created with the style. And if you've got certain suppliers still left outstanding to book, then they will then know what you're looking for, and it just saves a lot of time for you and the wedding planner. So, if you don't pin down a specific style, you could find yourself with kind of a mishmash of styles that don't necessarily go together. They can sometimes clash and they can just be too much kind of going on. So hopefully these kind of tips will help you along the way. So the first point to mention is that styling isn't all about the look. So we talk about how you want to feel on your wedding day. How do you want your guests to feel when they're at your wedding? Now, the best example to give for this is to think about when you wear your favourite perfume. Like, the reason we wear that perfume is not just because of the smell, but it's how it makes you feel when you're wearing it. And I'm sure you've all got, your favourite perfumes that make you feel amazing, that you keep for those special occasions. That is clever branding, but it's also, how do you want to feel on your wedding day? So also think about you and your partner's personal style. So what is kind of your natural style? What would your friends and family expect? They've probably got, you've probably heard people say, it was definitely them, or the wedding dress was definitely that, suited that person. It's kind of what they expected that person to wear in terms of the style and the look of the dress, because that's who they are, and it really reflected them as a person. And it's all the personal touches then, the personal elements of styling that goes into a wedding that just makes it seem really special. So then we kind of move on to colours. So colours are obviously part of the look and style, and if you've created a mood board, created a Pinterest board of the elements that you want, you know, the kind of style that you want for your wedding, and then that will probably impact the colours that you choose for your colour palette. Or you may just decide to choose colours that are on trend, that are quite fashionable at the moment, or you may just have your favourite colours that you want to choose, and that's what you want as part of your wedding. So I'm just going to go through a few different types of colour palettes that you can go for, not specific colours as such, apart from the first one. So the first one is white and natural. Now this colour palette can be really, really classic, really elegant, and you can create a really romantic style with this. I guess it's not white and natural, probably some people would say it's not a colour. So with this kind of styling, you know, if you have a really beautiful architectural venue that's got loads of character and there's just, you know, it doesn't need much styling, then you may decide to go with this kind of more neutral colour palette. You know, you may choose to mix it with metals and glass and candles, you know, and instead of having brightly coloured flowers, you may just decide to have a lot of greenery or foliage as part of the floral design. And like I said, it would be, you know, I love it. It's really classic, really elegant kind of colour palette. And it doesn't distract then. If you do have an amazing venue, it won't distract from the other elements or even clash with the type of venue. So yeah, I think I probably should have mentioned venue earlier. Obviously the venue can determine the style quite a lot. So depending on which comes first, some people will know exactly what venue they want to book. But if you want a specific style and then the venue doesn't quite match that, then you may want to rethink the style or the venue, depending on what's more important to you. I'm just going to have some tea. Hang on, I'm just going to... Oh, everything's going wrong. I just need to keep an eye on the time as well. So I got my Tigger mug today. Right, I'm doing okay for time. So I'm going to be talking about a colour wheel next. So for those of you who don't know what a colour wheel is, this is what one looks like. And I found this in a magazine. So I always keep it to hand now because it's quite handy. So with colours, obviously you can have completely neutral, you don't really have a colour. Or next we're going to be talking about contrasting colours. So these are perfect if you want really bold and bright, fun style to your wedding day. So contrasting colours are completely opposite each other on the colour wheel. So you could have, say, the blue and red, the purple and yellow or orange. Contrasting colours makes the colours look more intense. And yeah, it's perfect if you want kind of a festival themed Palm Springs type wedding theme or colours. They're really fun and bright. Next one is tonal. Now, a lot of people are scared of tonal colours, I think. I'm not sure why, because it's probably one of the easiest ones to achieve. So say for example you have purple as your kind of colour. If you decide to try and stick to one colour, purple, you will probably struggle. And also if you've got a slightly different shade of purple, then it can look a bit odd, like it doesn't look quite right. Where if you go for a tonal, then you are mixing kind of the lighter shades of purple, the mid purples and the darker purples, and it can look really pretty together. I don't know why my laptop keeps going on standby, I can't see the time. Yeah, so it's just quite an easy one to achieve. It gives some depth to the colour palette, and it's just using the same kind of hues from that one colour segment, whatever colour you want to use. The final one I'm going to be talking about is harmonising. So harmonising is when you use colours close to each other. Sometimes people may think they clash, but if you use them right, then yeah, they're a great way to include different colours into your colour palette, and they can work really well together. Especially, you know, the purples again. Obviously I like the colour purple. The purples into the pinks, you know, they do work really well together, and they don't necessarily have to be bold or bright either. Obviously you can use the softer tones there. So yeah, that's kind of, I know that's a really brief overview of styling, and you're probably like thinking, well, what happens next? So over on my website, I have created oh my god, my grammar. I've created an ebook which is completely free to download, and it's called My Secrets to Styling Your Wedding Day. So click the link in the comments below, or click the link over on my bio on Instagram, and it'll take you to the landing page where you can pop in your email and you will get my ebook emailed to you completely for free. So that just helps you go through the process of creating a mood board for your wedding, so it can help you pin all this down and help stop the overwhelm. So I'm going to leave it there for today. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, or message me, or yeah, head over to my website, which is carolynlouiseweddings.co.uk, and you can send me a message. So I hope that's helped. I hope that's helped a little bit, even though, you know, I could talk for hours about this. So yeah, download the ebook and let me know how you get on. So I'll speak to you all again next week. Bye.